Some children walk into class carrying a backpack you'll never see. It isn't filled with books or pencils, but with memories of fear, loss, or instability. You won't find it listed on the roll, but it shapes every word they speak and every silence they hold. The question for teachers is, what do we do with the weight they carry? And this is the story of Leo, Amira, and Sienna.
Leo was 7 years old and always on edge. Small frustrations lit a fire inside him. A broken pencil, a wrong answer, a simple correction. Each could lead to a storm. He shouted, he threw things, he bolted from the room. Many saw him as the naughty kid, but his teacher looked closer. Instead of reacting with punishment, she built calm, predictable strategies for him. A quiet space when he needed to breathe. Gentle reminders when his emotions were about to overflow. She noticed something else, too. Leo never gave up when building with blocks or helping with sports gear. One day, she said, "Leo, you are strong and reliable. I can always count on you." Slowly, he began to use his energy not for explosions, but for leadership. Amira was 6 years old and seemed invisible. She avoided eye contact, rarely spoke to peers, and kept her distance from adults. Many thought she was shy, but her silence came from a lack of trust. Home had never been stable. The teacher knew Amira needed consistency. Every day, she greeted her by name at the door. Every day, Amira found her desk waiting, her pencils ready. Predictable routines that told her, "You are safe here." Day after day, those small moments of safety began to settle inside her, until trust slowly took root. At first, Amira always sat at the far edge of the classroom. Weeks later, she moved closer, one row, then another, until one morning, her desk stood in the middle of the group. The teacher didn't move her there, Amira did. Stability had given her something she'd longed for, a place she could trust. Sienna was 8 years old and bright, but her mind was always scattered. She forgot instructions, drifted off in lessons, and froze when asked to write. Living in constant instability, her brain was trained to survive, not to focus. The teacher broke tasks into small steps, used visual cues, and checked in quietly without drawing attention. She also noticed Sienna's strength, her imagination. When she told stories aloud, her characters were vivid and alive. The teacher leaned in and said, "Sienna, your ideas are wonderful. Let's write just one sentence about your character." Step by step, sentence by sentence, Sienna began to believe she was a writer. 3 different children. 3 different faces of trauma. The storm of emotions. The wall of distrust. The fog of disconnection. In 2016, researchers Tony Brunzell, Lee Waters, and Helen Stokes wrote that trauma can disrupt self-regulation, fracture relationships, and diminish learning engagement. They offered a new way forward: trauma-informed positive education. Trauma-informed practice ensures safety, trust, and regulation. Strengths-based education builds resilience, hope, and growth. Together, these approaches help teachers see beyond the pain and nurture the strengths that remain. But was this just an idea, or could it work in real schools? The research journey unfolded like this. In 2016, the concept was introduced, teaching trauma-affected students through their strengths. By 2019, teachers trained in the model reported powerful shifts. They developed greater relational capacity with students and stronger psychological resources for themselves. Later that year, a rural primary school adopted the approach, reframing itself as trauma-affected and reshaping culture, policy, and daily routines. By 2024, longitudinal research revealed long-term change. Students reported safer, more positive perceptions of school, and teachers built stronger collective efficacy, the belief they could make a difference together. What began as a theory in 2016 grew into something far greater than research. It became transformation. It began with one teacher who chose to see beyond behavior, one classroom that replaced fear with safety, one school that built hope into its walls. And now it lives in every teacher who believes that healing and learning can happen side by side. When we teach through strengths, we don't just change lessons, we change lives. We help children move not just from surviving, but toward thriving.
Thank you for watching.
Subscribe for more research brought to life, where we turn evidence into stories that inspire, connect, and grow together.